The Johnsky is a YouTube channel run by and run for people over the age of 13. People under the age of 13 should click off of this video right now, or watch with a parent or guardian. Viewer discretion is advised.
You don't scare me!
Militus frickin' today, militiamen. My name is King Prime, and welcome back to another video here on the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another Jazwares World of Halo action figure from Series 6, which is still kind of a rare series to find. It's brand new. I mean, not brand new, it's about a couple weeks old now, but still new and hitting shelves. This is the Skirmisher from Halo Infinite. Real quick, let's just take a quick look at the packaging, which is kind of basic. I mean, it's basic for the new design here. You have the Halo traits at the top, Halo Infinite. Nice design of the Halo ring, which I've kind of mangled with the the ripping open of said box. You have the insert where the figure would be. Actually, surprisingly, on this figure you have a base that's included, a display stand, which I will look at a little bit later. You have the Series 6 down there with Skirmisher with Mangler. You have Chief there on the side. You have the UNSC trades, as well as the UNSC emblem down there. On the back of the box, you have the other figures in this series, that being Master Chief from Halo 5, Atriox, who I'm still looking for, the Anubis, who I don't really care to get, the Skirmisher, who obviously I have, the UNSC Marine, who is the previous review, and Spartan Buck, who I am also still trying to track down. But that's basically it. Basic packaging. It's not as complex as the first 5 series of this line. Let's just get on to what everyone's here for. Nobody's really here for the box. Freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze. Now here is the Skirmisher with the Mangler here. Real quick, let me just fulfill the promise and take a look at the display stand. It's rocks and dirt. There it is. It is the new one, which has the actual working interlocking mechanism. I don't have another one of these because I don't really care about these, so that just gets shoved to the side. Let's take a look at the actual action figure now. So real quick, zooming in on the face, he does look like one ugly motherfucker. He is fugly, if I do say so myself. He's even a ginger, so that's even more reason to hate him. I am, of course, joking. He does have a nice sort of beady eye sticking out there, and obviously on the other side through the purple armor of his helmet, his beak, as well as some unpainted teeth, which is weird, but unpainted teeth are sticking out through the front, because, you know, that's what skirmishers do, and other similar jackal type species. His armor continues down here. This has a nice hooks that are painted in silver, as well as gray details that are picked out, and some other tufts of red hair. More silver detailing on the back of the figure, as well as on the spine, and a little bit on the crotch piece on his butt. His hands are nice and painted at the same flesh tone as the snout, as well as some armor pieces that are also picked out in silver on the hands. Going down to his abs, you have a little bit of gray detail and some more armor detail picked out in purple there. More silver, well, actually a lot of silver on the thigh pieces and the knees, as well as the chicken legs, so they go back. You still have more silver detailing, some very spiky bits. I don't know why the Covenant designs are so spiky, but you know what, it's up to them. And his hooves are picked out in silver paint with the 3 toes. So overall, very nicely detailed action figure. Probably the most detailed figure that I've seen come out of their World of Halo line so far. I do very much like it. As for the articulation of the figure, you do have a ball joint at the head, which is, you know, you can kind of use it. You can definitely tell it's there. And then you also have, you can barely see it, a hinge, which has actually been lubricated so it doesn't snap right out of the box, which is good going on Jazwares' part. It's a big step up from the oopsie they made in the previous review. You have a full 360 range of motion at the shoulder, as well as a hinge joint that goes out. No upper bicep swivel, but you do have a pretty... Actually, this is not the worst elbow joint that I've seen on a Jazwares figure. So a kind of decent elbow joint, which can double as a swivel there. You have a swivel at the hand as well as an in and out joint. That's on both hands as well. This is not a Star Wars figure. There's no up and down joint. You have a ball joint at the waist, which is pretty good. Very limited because of the way the figure works, his proportions, and the armor. But it's there nonetheless, which is a good addition. You have the nice, and mind the angle here, ball joints at the hips, so you can get a full range of motion there with the upper legs. You also have a nice upper thigh swivel, as well as 2 knee joints, because this is a sort of chicken-legged figure, so you have an outer knee joint and an inner knee joint. It really goes on just one click, so it's not really that much motion in it, as well as one down here, which has more motion. But it's there, and that's what matters. It's nice that it was included so that you can at least get a little bit of a dynamic pose. You have a very small hinge joint at the ankle, and unfortunately no ankle pivot, which is very surprising for a figure like this. Usually I'd expect these World of Halo figures to have a ankle pivot, but this one doesn't. The Skirmisher does not have it, which is unfortunate. But you know what? It's a nice looking figure. It even has, I don't even know if I mentioned this, but the sort of horns sticking out here are all picked out in silver detail, which is very nice. It looks awesome. But overall, decent articulation. For Covenant figures, the articulation is kind of not as great, but the details usually stepped up, so that's an improvement. This figure definitely falls into that category. Real quick though, let's also take a look at the accessory, which is the Mangler, which is a weapon a lot of people complained about in Halo Infinite. It's one of the new brute weapons. Has some nice sculpted and picked out painted wrapping detail around the grip of the weapon, as well as the painted, I wouldn't call this a bayonet, the spike that you whack people with, as well as some nice little greebly details. It's a nice looking Mangler. It's a much more sophisticated design than the MA5C, which I detailed in the previous review, and I kind of made fun of it for just being a basic assault rifle, because that's what it was. This is actually a detailed weapon, and I like it. It's a good accessory, and to get this in the guy's hand, you just gotta wiggle it. It's soft plastic, so it bends out of the way, and you can have him gripping it like that. So he's gonna come in, he's gonna shoot you. He's gonna ruin your legendary run on Halo Infinite. Anyway, let's get a real quick size comparison in here. Freeze frame.
What the fuck? No!
Freeze frame unfreeze. So I did try to get this guy at full height. It kind of doesn't work because, like I said, the knees only really bend at one point, but it's perfectly fine. Here we have one of our previous reviews and another figure from this wave, the Halo 5 Master Chief, as well as my previous review, the Halo 3 UNSC Marine. And why not, we'll bring in the golden standard of action figures himself, the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Dark Times Darth Vader, who still looms over the guy, even though his hair makes him super tall. It does not matter, Vader will be taller. Although Chief does, of course, tower over all of them, and rightfully so. So, that's it. They look good together. That's how big he is. Freeze frame. Freeze frame unfreeze. Now, I actually really like this figure. However, it does have a few drawbacks for me. For instance, the articulation really could be better, and I did have kind of a hard time displaying this guy for this final pose. There's not really a lot of dynamic poses you can get out of these Covenant figures without using the included display base. However, that being said, this is a beautifully detailed action figure. The sculpting and the paint work is absolutely incredible, and so far out of the 3 figures I have from this wave of the Jazwares World of Halo series, I think that this one takes the cake as my favorite. That'll probably be changed when I get Atriox, but right now, it's the Skirmisher. I think he's awesome. I like the Mangler weapon that came with him. I like the armor detail. I like the everything detail. He's just good. He's just a good figure. Where I had my gripes about the Halo 3 UNSC Marine previously, I have really no gripes about this other than the articulation, which is something that I've come to expect with these Covenant figures. It's not something you can just nail first try. You have to try over and over again. One day, it'll get perfect. Just you wait. Of course, the one big problem that I have is what I described in my previous review, the Halo 3 UNSC Marine, is that these figures are really hard to find. For whatever reason, I only have been able to find Chief, the Marine, and this guy so far, and this guy, there was only one of them on the entire shelf, making him, from what I've heard, one of the hardest figures to find. So it's a miracle that I found him before Atriox, which I don't really understand, but it's fine. One day I'll understand how shipping works and how the supply chain has inevitably failed the collecting community. So that means that if you like this figure, if you like Halo Infinite, if you like the Jazwares World of Halo line, make sure you share this video around and you demand from Jazwares and Wicked Cool Toys to make more of these Halo Infinite World of Halo figures, because they are good. I promise you that. These World of Halo figures are excellent. You're going to have so much fun posing them. You're going to have so much fun collecting them. The only thing is that we can't find them right now. So make sure you share this everywhere you can so that you can get the message out to keep World of Halo alive. That being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you share this video with all your Facebook groups, all that good stuff. And as always, my friends, peace.